I'm Steve-O. Oh,
What the?
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, two of the top teams, not only in California for high school football, but and also the nation. They are ranked number 1 and number 2 out here in SoCal, are both Mater Dei and St. John Bosco, and they actually play this weekend, I believe, on Friday. And of course, it's at this community college, so I'm sure they're going to try to sell all these tickets way above price, so there's no point in even going. But yes, both teams are still undefeated, I believe 6-0, so it's going to be even bigger positioning afterwards, not only nationally, but out here in California also. So good luck to either team. I usually kind of pull for Mater Dei a little bit more because a lot more of those guys go to USC than Bosco, so I guess I kind of go with them. Plus, they have cooler uniforms, and I prefer a red color, so red and white is cool with me. But overall, good luck to those guys. Definitely looking at a bunch of the, hopefully, future USC Trojans on either side in that game. Should be very interesting. Then Shohei Ohtani of the Angels apparently agreed to a 1-year, $30 million deal going into next season, and they said it stops arbitration. So I'm not really into baseball, and I don't know arbitration 100%, but they said this is the most money someone has gotten on a 1-year deal right before that. So I guess it's probably like they're not able to wait and not give him a huge contract after next season, so they kind of have to. But this gives them like a 1-year, pretty high salary deal on their roster. So overall, still there's a chance that he might end up staying. You never know, but at least he got him for 1 more year, so I definitely will try to get out there to see him at least next season, because right now they might just be shutting both him and Trot down because they were eliminated from the playoffs a couple weeks ago. Then ex-USC football player Clay Matthews, who's also with the freaking Green Bay Packers for so many years, but he was selected in the first round by them, and also with the Rams. It was kind of surprising he was selected by the Packers in the first round, just because out of all the linebackers, he was maybe talked about the least. He was more, I guess, versatile because he could play on the outside and play in the middle and coverage also, compared to like Brian Cushing or Keith Rivers at the time, and Ray Mauluga, but he was still selected in the first round because they saw something, and of course it turned out into a great career. He has over 90 plus career sacks. I know on one of the last videos I thought he might have been thinking about a comeback or trying to get back into the league on any team to try to boost his sack totals up over 100, but for some reason, of course, after a couple days after I said that, he decides to retire. So maybe it's a fake retire, it's not, you never know, but a lot of crazy injury stuff and happening around the league, so maybe you don't want to return as well because it probably won't be safe. Then the Anaheim Ducks signed a defensive player to a 1-year deal, but it wasn't an entry-level deal, so he must be a guy that they're going to be using right away. His last name is hard. It's Nathan Beaulieu. I hope I'm saying that correct, but yeah, they definitely need help on defense, and we'll see what he can do. Pretty sure he's going to get a run here at some point in the season, coming up actually pretty soon. And then USC football, they remained number 6 overall in the AP poll once again. Only one team pretty much that was right behind them, Kentucky, at least as far as top 10 loss. There was like 10 teams that were overall ranked in the top 25 that lost, but they were all behind USC, and it kind of made way for other teams to jump up, like a UCLA and other teams that USC will be facing coming up soon here later in the year. But yes, they stayed at number 6 because they defeated ASU this last Saturday, 42-25. It was a little bit closer than I like to watch these games. I know betting-wise, they were supposed to win by like 24, 25 points, and it was close. It was a lot closer, so if you picked ASU, you probably won something because they definitely somewhat covered. But yeah, overall, it was still, once again, the same guys that stepped up even more this time. Both Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison, their stars on offense, stepped up. Travis Dye, once again, had a couple touchdowns, close to 100 if he didn't get over 100. He was pretty close. So overall, a lot of guys stepped up. A couple guys caught touchdowns again, Malcolm Epps and At some point, it was during the game where Caleb Williams threw his first interception of the year. I think it was like second or third quarter, and going towards the end, it looked like USC was going to end the game without having a turnover in the first game of this season. But then on one of ASU's last drives, Emory Jones threw an interception to Kalen Bullock, and they were able to secure that little stat or little record going on throughout this year so far. So we'll see what they can do with really offensively talented Washington State team that always seems to be very talented, especially on the offensive side, just because of the way they play. But they have a really athletic quarterback, even though they got lucky because Jones for ASU is really athletic, but he wasn't able to run as much. Even the announcers were surprised he was playing in the game because of a hamstring injury, but he really didn't take off as much either. But this guy, Cameron Ward, I believe his name is, for Washington State, he came from a smaller school, but he's very talented. And even though Washington State ended up losing to Oregon, even though they're winning by like 10 points in the fourth quarter recently, there's some hope that USC could steal a win here because of the inconsistency and, the youthfulness of Washington State, especially with their head coach. But we will see, because it was a tough game playing up there in Pullman last year, but USC got the W with their freshman QB, and luckily it's here at the Coliseum, a late game as well. But hoping for the best this weekend coming up, because that's all you can hope for with USC. It's all you can hope for, especially for me. Then, yes, the Chargers went on the road, which is kind of surprising. They went on the road last year to Houston, so usually you flip-flop when you're playing divisions. So I thought they were going to be playing at home this week, but they weren't. They were on the road again, but luckily it didn't faze them. They still ended up getting the victory, 34-24. At one point, I think the Chargers were up 21-0, 24-0, something like that right before halftime. But of course, they let Houston get into the game, as the Chargers like to do. And after this victory, the Chargers are at least second in the division as of right now. I think, because Denver and the Raiders beat each other up positional-wise, so they're underneath the Chargers. And the Chargers, since they lost to Kansas City, and Kansas City has one more win, they are on top of the AFC West standings as of right now, but at least second is not too shabby. Like Austin Eckler finally stepped up, getting one of his 2 first rushing touchdowns on the season. He had 3 touchdowns overall in the game, so he was really great fantasy football-wise if you had him. But also Justin Herbert, he didn't throw as many touchdowns. I think maybe only 2 throughout the game, but he did have over 340-plus throwing yards as well. And he wasn't hit as much, which was good. And it was surprising that, the Chargers did start a rookie at left tackle that everyone thought was kind of maybe going to be a guard or right tackle, but they put him at the left tackle position because I believe he played that while at Georgia the past couple seasons, and he did great. I don't think he gave up a sack, and he ended up getting a game ball at the end of the game as well from Coach Staley. So it was a great, I want to say he was a 5th or 6th round pick, I forget, but even the Chargers had always talked about it. They were so surprised that he was still available, and they thought they got a steal, and it's looking to pay forward now, because before, with like guys like Pipkins or Storm Norton, like guys that they tried to sign before Staley got there because of Tom Telesco, it's like still waiting on these guys to perform, and they haven't. But as of right now, I think Staley got the eye for the talent, and I'm definitely very excited that he is our head coach as of this second. So definitely very happy about the win, but could have been better, could have been less of a struggle. And they get the Cleveland Browns, who obviously don't have their best starting quarterback as of right now because he was suspended, but they are still winning, and you have to stop Nick Chubb. And last year's game was crazy. It was one of the highest scoring games last year. It was like definitely high 30s, low 40s in LA, and I believe we are on the road again to Cleveland, so we'll see how this goes, hoping for the best. And of course, to end this video off, Lakers preseason starts tonight. You get a nice little look at a lot of these new players and some of the other guys that haven't played even while they were on the team, like a Kendrick Nunn, something like that, or some of the rookies as well. And maybe and hopefully LeBron and AD will play at least a little bit to see what they can do. And see how it looks like. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Maybe we'll update you or not, depending if they win or if it's a good enough play or not. But yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching, people. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll show you tomorrow. I'll upload a video of how I did fantasy football-wise. It's looking positive so far, but the dude has 3 players tonight, and they're pretty good players. So hoping for the best. But yes, like I said, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.